Positively Muskegon, it's Andy O'Reilly, still trying to give a hand to our candidates here in town who are making the effort to get out and improve Muskegon by the ways they see fit. We're talking to any candidate that wants to come on and tell you their platform. It's important to you, the voter, to know a little bit about the people, much more so than a quick snippet on the news or a quote in the paper or any of that kind of stuff. We want you to get to know them, including Paula Baker Mathes here. Paula, thanks for coming on. We're glad to have you on Positively Muskegon.
Glad to be here.
Talk about your run for the 60th District Court.
All right. Well, I am currently a public defender in the Public Defender Office for Muskegon County. I've been there for 2.5 years now since it opened, and I really enjoy my work there. I think that I have enjoyed helping the individuals. One of the reasons that I became a lawyer was that I wanted to help people.
Sure.
And I love doing it in the court system. I moved to Muskegon about 16 years ago.
Is that right?
I had been in...
We're about the same pace.
Yeah.
I think about that much time for me, too.
I moved here from, actually, Escanaba in the UP.
Yeah, eh?
Yeah, eh? You betcha. I spent 4 years there doing civil work, helping indigent individuals with civil cases, and really enjoyed it up there. I had a beautiful group of friends, but decided that I wanted to be closer to my family in
Sure.
Lower Michigan. So
Sure.
I came down here when Tony Tagg offered me a job in the prosecutor's office.
Very cool.
So I worked in the prosecutor's office for about 10 years. I've also been in private practice, and then joined the public defender's office 2.5 years ago.
One thing I haven't asked any of the attorneys that have come on so far, and I'm kind of wondering about, those first few years of you being an attorney, when you were working for people who didn't have any ability to pay, they didn't really have, I mean, sooner or later they're going to have to pay something, but did you think that it would be that when you first started?
You know,
or did you have that LA law mentality that you'd be driving a Mercedes right off the bat and everything else?
No, I did not ever have that feeling when I was in law school. I think actually, I did not intend to become a trial attorney.
No?
I didn't plan on being a litigator. I was going to be a research attorney in law school.
Okay.
That's what I did. It's
what made the turn?
I did research for a while in Lansing and found out I missed people.
Yeah.
I really like working with people.
Yeah.
And sitting in this room and answering the questions from the constituents of the legislative bodies did not do it for me. It was not as, I guess, fulfilling for me to sit there and look at it on paper.
And it's important. I mean, you got to have something out of your job that makes you feel full as a person. Yeah, okay.
Right. And so interacting with the people made me switch from being a research attorney to going into litigation. I started doing pro bono work when when I first got out of law school, and I really enjoyed helping those individuals and doing it on a pro bono basis, and that's why I then ended up working for legal services up in the UP.
Sure.
And developed a passion for it, and I think that ultimately that's why I ended up going to the public defender's office when that opened.
Do you prefer being a prosecutor or a defender?
You know, that is a really hard call. I really enjoyed my time as a prosecutor.
Mm-hmm.
I did. I did it for 10 years.
Yeah.
Being a defense attorney as opposed to the prosecutor is really just two sides of a coin.
Yeah.
It really is.
Mm-hmm.
Heads or tails. You are doing the same job. It's just a different person or a different face to the side that you're advocating for.
Sure.
So I've found that it's not really that much different. When I was in the prosecutor's office, I always had to think, okay, how's a defense attorney going to deal with this?
A lot of that.
Where are they going to poke the holes, and
Yep.
how do I fix that, or how do I
Yep.
sell it? And as a defense attorney, I have to go, all right, where are the holes, and how do I make them bigger, or
Sure.
where do I get some traction,
Yeah.
or where do I cut the line and say
this is what
okay,
we're going to have to do.
give.
Yeah, right.
So it's really the same job,
Yep.
just two different faces of the courtroom, two different tables.
Now you're going to be behind the bench, or
That's
you'd like to
the
be
plan.
behind the bench.
That's the goal.
Talk about the role. I mean, you've got both sides of the coin down.
Yes.
Now you're the dollar bill. Talk about that. Talk about that behind the bench. Why do you see that?
Well, I think that my experience is unique amongst all the candidates. So
Okay.
I think that given my experience as the prosecutor as well as the defense attorney and private practice, I think I have a more global insight into the issues in our community. I've been working in the sobriety court for a long time. I sit next to these individuals who are struggling with their addictions or their mental health issues, family issues. I have sat there and heard it all in the course of my career. I've sat there with the victims and held their hands as they cried and told me about what's gone on, and I've sat there with the defendants as they sat there and cried and told me what's going on. And that experience makes, I think, me recognize that we need to have fairness in the courtroom.
Sure.
Everybody gets a fair shake, no matter who they are, and that the courtroom is there for these individuals, not for the judge or even the attorneys.
Sure.
It's for the people who are in that courtroom handling their case.
Talk about the Muskegon court specifically. Are there changes you see that need to be made?
I think that we have some great things going on in Muskegon County. One of them is the treatment courts that we have in the different areas. We have a sobriety court, which I've been a member of for at least 7 years, probably longer, and I'm very, very much a avid proponent of it. I've seen some amazing things come out of people in that court. The changes that these individuals make is astounding.
I'm one of them.
It's a great
I never had to
program.
go to sobriety court, but I understand sobriety and what it comes down to in the end when you really get over that hump and know what it's like to have been an alcoholic, and to people don't really understand that every day is heaven after you've gotten through that, and you just don't worry about things like you used to, and it's remarkable.
It's a huge change, and I think that many people don't understand how difficult it is to overcome addiction unless you've been there or you've been dealing with it. And then I had one of our counselors that worked in sobriety court when I first started working with them put it really succinctly in his description. He says, try brushing your teeth with the other hand.
Yeah.
That's how hard it is to stop drinking for some people.
Oh, yeah.
Is to switch brushing your teeth
I know.
with your hand.
I know.
And you will start brushing your teeth with the one hand. If you're always brushing with your right, you switch to the left, and then it'll automatically switch to the right because you won't even think about it.
Yeah.
And that's kind of the process of learning how to live sober. Is you've got to rewire the brain.
She knows.
And I get to see it. I get to be on the line, the cutting edge, or the front line of them dealing with it, and it's amazing to watch.
Yeah.
And I am so proud of the graduates we've had out of there.
Yeah.
And Judge Waringo started that court it has to be over 10 years ago because we just celebrated our 10-year anniversary or graduation. He started it. Judge Close is also doing it, and they their work in those courts has been very impressive,
Life-changing.
and it's actually what inspired me to decide to run for district court judge.
So there you are.
That's why I'm doing it.
You're doing it.
I've seen what the courts can do bad. I've seen what the courts can do good, and I want to see the good continue.
Perfect.
And I also think that our mental health courts and our veterans courts are all on the same track. And if we could get a drug court going, I think that would be a phenomenal accomplishment because there are so many people struggling with substance abuse.
Yeah.
And I think that we need to...
I'd like to see an inpatient treatment center here.
Oh, that would be amazing.
I think it's a big deal. I think it's important.
We're shipping a lot of our people down to Grand Rapids and Holland to get the treatment that they need.
Yeah.
And it would be a great opportunity for our residents if we had something like that.
You win this, you get cracking on it right then and there.
I will. I definitely will.
We'll put all your links up on Positively Muskegon. We'll make sure your Facebook's there, your website, everybody else. Get out and vote. That's the most important thing. Is there anything else you want to add today,
No,
Paula?
thank you very much for having me.
Hey, it's great to have you. And like I said, candidates, you're all welcome to come on. We got to be getting close to the end of people running for stuff because we've had a lot of candidates. But it's important.
It is.
Paula Baker Mathes, look for her on the ballot for the 60th District Court election this year. Paula, thanks for coming in.
Thank you so much.
You bet.